eliminated in the final major and the final tournament of the season. A very long DPC season it has been, but a very enjoyable one as well. We're getting such a masterclass over the last 4 days from a number of teams, but also a bit of a mixed bag sometimes from some of the teams out of form, and TFT need to turn things around in game number 2. And to turn them around, what do they have to do? And that's the question we're going to ask to our 3 panel members right now, and start with Alan. Obviously ban the Bloodseeker if they want to play the Slark, and I think that's one thing. But even forgetting about that, what else do they need to do in this game?
I think I want to see that 4 position. I think Cap made a really good point during the cast talking about Fade, how he was talked about at a number of points this season as one of the best 4 position players for vgj.thunder. He has fallen off a bit since his Tusk, which was a signature hero for him, got nerfed. But he showed in that game how he's capable of still making all-world contributions. And we didn't see the same thing from Pablo. When they were looking good in Indonesia, Pablo was playing those unconventional 4-position heroes, the Monkey King as a 4, which I don't think we've seen from many other teams at all this year. So they need that 4-position matchup to be solid for TFT.
Yep, he's played a bit of Dark Willow in there as well as we get into our second draft of the day. I'm just going to see whether they... No, well, I mean, those bans are fairly... I was going to ask about the Naga, was the one thing I was going to talk to you about, Trent, because I feel like that's a bit of a battle hero for these two. They both want it.
Yeah, I feel like every team should want that hero, honestly. I feel like if you haven't practiced and been ready for Naga, you screwed up for this tournament, honestly. Hero feels incredible, amazing, gives you so much out of a single hero. There's like... There was one hero that used to give you team fight, and that was Earth Spirit. You could just pick it as your 4. You could pick some Nature's Prophet off lane. I mean, you would know life was fine, because he still had team fight. It was good. Earth Spirit, he got nerfed a lot. And now Naga kind of provides that for you instead.
However, they decide to ban it and go with the Skywrath instead.
Skywrath open, too. That's usually the 1-2 combo with Skywrath and Axe.
Yeah, that's much better. We know that Jonathan Fan loves playing Axe. That's one of his heroes, so this is a good start. Of course, that combo is very scary, and vgj.thunder, they could open with whatever they want. They could go Lash Sanking here if they want, or just go back to the Disruptors. You know, it's a great hero. Pretty open, of course.
Yeah, I feel like we often talk about like certain players having like that impact in the game, and honestly, if you've been giving Underlord, you're not gonna, you don't have that much individual impact on the game in a lot of situations. Where if you get to play an Axe, I like, but the Lycan still
wasn't banned.
Now there's no Night Stalker at the very least.
This is good. This is them baiting it because they want to pick the Axe here.
Yeah.
Easy. Please pick the Axe.
TFT is, I'm pretty sure after that Lycan pick they will. And
it is still a Siler, like. I mean, that is just, we have seen him. Doesn't matter when he gets it. Game looks good. They pick it first base.
And there's the Axe.
Easy.
That was probably the easiest prediction I could have made all year.
Very impressive.
Well, we got our Bane hero, though, right? We like Bane. No?
So okay, Omni's already banned, so you don't have to worry about that ban Omni Knight dual lane, Omni Knight dual lane that's just looked...
Yeah, the VP special.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, don't give that to VP.
It's funny. You watch VP play it, and you're like, okay, VP's good with everything. And then I've seen a couple other teams play it now, and it looks like a really difficult lane to deal with at all.
But that's the Bane, right? He's good with any hero, honestly.
That's true.
Sure, Omnis, you got the double heal kind of thing going and super good sustain. But Bane with any hero, we see some people... I'm not a huge fan of going Enfeeble still, because he got nerfed pretty big. There are some guys going 2 in it, which is pretty terrible. So hopefully it just goes to Brain Stab here, as normal.
Yeah, just the lane trading. That's what we've been reduced to.
Now, interestingly enough, I will say, as much as I agree with Trent's point about Earth Spirit, vgj.thunder is a team that still have run Earth Spirit within the last 6 weeks.
It's a Fade hero.
And he is really good on the hero. It's just the problem with Earth Spirit is that because he was a roaming hero, his early levels got nerfed. And as the meta has transitioned away from roaming, those nerfs have just hit him so hard.
I think it's just trash right now. It's really hard to gank middle.
Exactly.
And
speaking of ganking middle, though.
There is Fade's signature of the Tusk. They are only 11 and 13 on this hero in the last 3 months.
I was going to bring that up with you because it has fallen off as a hero. It has not dropped out of the meta, but it's fallen to the kind of bottom of tier 2 now, isn't it? Whereas when he was playing it before, it was a tier 1 hero.
Well, it's another hero that has gotten nerfed. It has been hurt by the transition away from roaming, and you know this is.
Is that a first
This is
Wyvern?
good.
It is a first Wyvern.
Yeah,
It's a first Wyvern of the entire tournament.
and I've talked about it the last couple of tournaments. I'm
Yeah.
surprised with all of these summon strats coming
Right.
out.
You said it. Haas said it first. Good against summons.
Yeah, but don't forget, it's also Axe Wyvern. This is the
Ah,
classic.
the
You
classic
can do
the
some,
old
complexity.
school.
yeah, you can do some
Yeah.
ancients together. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Complexity. I don't know if you want
Somewhere in the
Cold
world right
embrace the
now,
axe, yeah.
Kyle is quietly
Yeah.
rubbing his hands together and smiling.
I mean,
with
he was actually right on Leshrac. I'm surprised he doesn't brag about that more often, to be honest,
Yeah.
because he was
What?
like the only
Called
one
the
picking
Lesh very early,
Leshrac.
didn't
Like
he?
he
Yeah.
was just that support Lesh first. Yeah, everyone's just
Oh,
banning
yeah.
Leshrac
God,
versus
that was
Cole.
like a year ago. Yeah, it was
I
like a
mean,
year and a half
he
ago.
was pretty on point. We'll
ahead
give
of
him
the
that
meta.
one.
Ahead,
But
ahead of the meta.
so yes, the Tusk, the nerfs, not that great at ganking mid these days. Mid very hard to gank these days, but up against the Axe, the Skywrath Mage, two very kind of like telegraphed abilities in terms of dodging with the snowball. So
Indeed.
Blink Dagger, incredibly important for Fade this game. Doesn't work that well against Wyvern though, obviously.
Yeah, because you're going to blink in and you're going to start hitting instead of
Yeah,
snowballing.
yeah.
So this is,
not that great.
I like the Wyvern.
Yeah,
Yep,
very good.
Wyvern's good pick. It's our 99th different hero either picked or banned at this tournament so far. Just the 16 remaining in the pool now.
And I really believe the format has so much to do with that. That because we're best of threes all the way through, the
Sure.
teams just have so much more room to experiment.
Some of those ignored heroes, by the way, just while we get this
Wow.
next pick, which is going to be a
That's
gyro. This is
not
very
surprising.
old school from vgj.thunder. This is 3 months ago's meta.
Oh, it's very helped by the fact that they're the ones that have the Bane on their side, right? Because Gyrocopter has been very hurt by matchups with Bane in the last couple of events.
Yeah, we've got Alchemist, Bristle, Crystal Maiden, not going to see any of her. Dark Willow.
Oh, don't talk about it. Hey,
I know we've seen a
Secret
couple
still-
of CMs,
still likes
Secret
their
like it as well,
four-position
and I know
CM.
that Virtus Pro played a little bit. Enchantress, Huskar, which you never know when you're going to get one of those. Magnus, Oracle, might see an Oracle every now and again. It's a bit of a niche pick, but it does come with the Huskar sometimes. Pudge, Ricky, Shadow Shaman, Techies, Terror Blade, obviously fallen completely off the cliff. Tiny, also fallen off the cliff. Ursa, another one that's fallen off the cliff. And Wraith King, which we might see.
Wraith King got so buffed. I love that
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah.
I don't know why we don't see it more often, honestly.
Yeah, Puppy likes it.
Yeah.
Always a good sign.
Well, I don't want to say jungle, though. That got nerfed.
That
That's
is
a
gone.
good thing.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. But Magnus, you look at someone like Magnus and compare it to Axe. Is,
Yeah.
You know, you compare the ult or the call, it's like the same spell, but 12, 14-second cooldown. You're like, all right, why do people pick Magnus?
Right.
That hero's trash.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
feel that great.
Only
I
S4
mean,
would pick
Power
him.
got buffed, but
Right? Eh? Only
Yeah.
S4 picks Magnus.
Yeah, but he's an EG now.
okay. Took their time, maybe watching something from the last series, using the Monkey King as a counter pick to the Gyrocopter, kind of similar to the way that was used as a counter to the Luna in the last series.
Yeah, similar stuff. So much team fight now, too.
Isn't it funny how quickly a hero can bounce back into the meta, though? Even for a short space of time. Remember the Mirana 2 days ago? Hadn't been picked throughout the tournament, suddenly picked in every game.
Speaking of which, I mean, she's lurking here.
Yeah, she's also
She's
there.
hanging out. You got a
Nice.
Bane. You throw that like
Yeah.
off lane Lycan for some reason. You feel like don't give it to Sylar for some stupid
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah,
I
it could
don't
fit into the
know. It's
Thunder
highly
lineup, couldn't it?
unlikely. Let's just
No,
let's
no.
be relaxed here and pick ourselves a normal hero.
The monkey here is pretty good.
Techies.
The problem for the monkey is that he can just get run over by Lycan, but now
Yes.
that you have the Winter Wyvern completely counters that, it's without the Winter Wyvern, I would be very scared about a monkey here, honestly. But yeah, the Winter Wyvern ult Lycan, he gets destroyed.
Where
Yeah.
does Lycan go to lane too? That's another whole issue. Like we have these like mid game counters, but in terms of like an Axe as well as a Monkey King, things aren't looking that great for Sylar.
Yeah, I mean, ordinarily the Bane used to be run 2 months ago as a safe lane lockdown kind of support, but we've seen him more recently in the aggro dual lanes. So
I mean,
yeah,
who ran him the other day and literally he was going from lane to lane? What game was that?
a Bane, a roaming
Yeah,
Bane,
a roaming
I
Bane,
didn't
literally
see
going
that
from
too
lane to
often.
lane and helping
Yeah.
out every lane
Maybe-
and just picking up
Yeah, he's
kills
secured the
every
whole
lane as well. I
game.
can't remember what that game was. It was
Yeah.
extraordinary. I just watched
Remember
it. What is going
Suns
on?
fan was paneling
You
and
know,
going crazy.
remember that
Was that the EG game?
Thunder has shown Lycan mid. So that's another question. If TFT picks something here that I guess if they try to run like in mid, that they put Monkey King 1v1 against him.
Yeah, definitely.
They haven't
And he
done
gets
like in
killed.
mid for a while, though.
You can see
No, they did
they're
the other
worried
day.
about
Oh,
it,
did they?
though.
Game 1 against Optic.
All right.
Yeah, and they're concerned because they took the ban on the Bloodseeker, saying we don't want you to have 3 lane counters to
Yeah.
Lycan. You know what I mean? Like 3 heroes that can just completely dumpster him. And they'll go for the Ember, which maybe it won't completely like crush a Lycan or something, but you're still getting a lot out of that matchup in terms of like onto your Ember and how you feel about your mid and late game possibilities.
Yeah, nice synergy with the
3
rest of the team.
melee cores, though. Do you take Timber?
10 seconds
Against
remaining.
Skywrath Mage, as
No,
well as like a
probably
lot
not.
of cooldown
Probably
from
not.
Axe, long reach from, yeah, a little
5
bit risque.
seconds remaining.
I mean, if you're confident, perhaps, but I don't know how Yang feels.
How does the Underlord fit in here?
Yeah.
I almost feel like just like a Sand King or something.
Do you
Like
think more like that?
I kind of just want to like find some way to break up these team fights or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you do have to address the team fight on the Final
Like-
Five side.
Better catch onto the Ember, force a Lincoln's purchase. Batrider's a dead hero, so that kind of leans me more towards. I mean,
Brew
Oh,
band?
they do run Brew. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
what I was
Brew-
about to
Brew's
say.
not bad.
Yeah.
That would do something similar, wouldn't it?
they'll
Okay,
pick
I got
that
that.
anyway.
Right, well,
I mean,
not quite a dead hero.
it's the same thing with the Lincolns and everything. I get it, but I just can't give confidence to that
No.
hero,
Well,
man.
but you're
It's
but
fallen right down
you're-
the level.
you are now you're guaranteed to be laying against a melee core.
It's
as a
true.
Batrider, and that, if that melee core is not named Lifestealer, it's usually pretty good.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but we-
S4 had a free back game and they almost lost.
Yeah, we see it here again. He's gonna have a free game, but the Bat is just he just got too heavily nerfed, and
Yeah.
he was one of the most broken heroes in the meta for so long.
For
along
3
with,
years.
yeah, along with Wisp, but Wisp for some reason is not getting those nerfs. So
No, Wisp is getting buffed.
yeah, so Ice Frog, you're probably watching this. It's about time.
Okay, let's get some predictions. Alan, which way?
Apparently we're. Does production wants to go home? Okay. All right. You know what?
You're going with VGJ Thunder?
No.
No. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So
Production wants to
fine.
go home.
Okay. So you're going for TFT. Admiral Bulldog.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Okay. Admiral Bulldog's gone for TFT. And Trent.
Well, I mean, read the screen. I guess we're in there, so send it over.
Okay.
I have no say in
fantastic.
this.
Amazing. All three believe that the brilliant drafting by TFT in that game is going to lead to a victory in game number 2. I think you might have cottoned on to what we're doing here at home. Stay with us. Let's go back to our commentary team of Cap and Gods.
PGL forgot to put in my teleprompter so I could just read off the script. That is apparently our game 2. We're heading into, apparently everyone just really wants Final Tribe to just lose in 2-0 and everything else.
They picked
No,
them,
I
though,
think
Gav.
wasn't
They
that
picked
wasn't
them.
the joke there the panel curse, right? And then it was just like straight up 2-0.
We've broken that a bit this event. We've upped our prediction game from what I've seen.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
We're like at a solid
Is it
25%.
the one day that I'm not paneling at all is the day that we up our prediction rates? Good. There's clearly
we're rising
I was
together
the
as a
problem.
team. It's
all right, but it is I don't know. I'm thinking Final Tribe actually have a pretty good lineup here. I thought the Monkey King was relatively solid. I thought the Ember Spirit was a good last pick. They have really solid counters to the Lycan, and that is the win condition for VGJ Thunder, right? They've got both Axe and Wyvern, which are counters to it.
yeah. Last time I saw Silo play this, he just gets his fast on the Dominator, runs around everywhere, wreaking havoc, and having answers is great. You've got Axe, Wyvern, and that alone is going to make a big difference. They want to try and get this fast level 6 on the Wyvern ideally, and also make sure the lanes are somewhat pressured so that Lycan just doesn't have free roam around. He needs to maybe help out and defend some of these lanes.
We do have some signature heroes on both sides. We've got Fate playing the Tusk, and then the big one for Final Tribe is we just saw on screen the Yonosamfon Axe. That dates all the way back to the MLG Columbus days, where Yonosamfon had that standout performance in the 2nd season, I believe, of that Join Dota MLG League.
So we'll see early TP coming out with the lanes as DDC heads down bottom to try and help out with this pressure lane. Axe Wyvern, not the Axe Sky. Interesting.
So they feel like the Skywrath Mage, and I'm kind of inclined to agree with this. They need the Sky and his constant pressure against the Batrider. Otherwise, once the Wyvern uses Arctic Burn and harass the Batrider, that window of like 30 seconds, he could just be super aggressive with his sticky napalm and just run over the lanes. So feels like Sky has a more consistent pressure point that could be a little bit better. They are going to switch things up on Final Try. They're going to run Yonosamfan mid against the Lycan, seeing as the Dragocopter was bottom lane.
They must have been expecting different lanes, but surprised because I think Silo going around the Lycan has kind of become a bit of a norm for this team, particularly if they're picking a Gyrocopter, but
yeah.
I don't even know if Thunder's going to respond to that. Doesn't look like Sylar cares about this matchup change. He can still farm pretty decently even against an Axe at mid. Just needs to play a bit more cautiously.
Yeah, it's funny how these different ideas of Dota basically contradicting what vgj.thunder wanted to be able to run, right? You're saying they run mid-Sylar all the time with those Lycan. Like, that's what they're going to be doing. And the Final Tribe, in their very last ban, they went for the Lina, right? And they're expecting some sort of, like, off-lane, side-lane shenanigans Lycan, which is just not who vgj.thunder are.
Yeah. A lot of the other Chinese teams are running the Lycan off lane, or in, like, the free position, but it has not been the Thunder one.
Diving into the top lane, Frost is having some issues right now, and there doesn't feel like a whole lot to Skywrath Mage. He actually picks up his level 2, but the Snowball is still on top of Frost with the sticky napalm. The Firefly's going to wear out soon, but it will still be enough to be able to get that first blood. Pablo was hoping to be able to get the counter kill onto Yang, but it's just not going to happen.
Free back game, as mentioned by the panel, and we're seeing it here. It gets a very good lane against a melee core hero. The Skywrath is up there to try and alleviate the pressure a little bit. As you said, a much better laning hero than the Winter Wyvern, but even so, still able to find a kill. And this Batrider should be in for a very good start, at least.
The Batrider is going to serve as...
He may have another kill top lane.
Yeah, Pablo's going to be blocked in by the Ice Shards. Now, fortunately, he's a pretty fast hero, but he is eventually going to be run over here. Frost is trying to help him out, does manage to get the Jingu Mastery stacks, but no Boundless Strike to capitalize off the extra damage.
He was just walk to the shop to buy a TP or a wand or something and paid for it with his life. It was a silly mistake, but one that will happen sometimes.
DDC battling it up there with Era. He's going to throw out the Nightmare, Brain Sap, but it's still not going to be enough to keep alive. That Flame Guard's going to last just long enough for them to get the kill on DDC. And Freeze with the Creep Wave right there. Can't really do anything with its Rocket Barrage. TP out into the mid lane. Axe is threatening Sylar's life. Fade is going to try and shard him and try and kind of go for the kill. He does have a Snowball. He can try and run him down. Yonosamfan slowed down by the Orb of Venom. The Wolves are trying to get to him as well. Yonosamfan's thinking about just going for a Roshan Deny. And 2 shots is all it takes. He's dead for 25 seconds, though, as a result. So it's still kind of a win for Sylar and the rest of vgj.thunder.
Yeah, a bit of freedom from in the mid lane. Axe is being slightly off-armed by this Lycan right now, but should be able to get back in some okay time to continue contesting this lane. And even while he's gone, it's Pablo and Skywrath getting a bit of experience in that lane.
Hanskin keeping up some pretty good harassment here. Oh, there's another signature one. Of course, Hanskin Disruptor is a classic, but Hanskin Wyvern as well. I would say 2 of his most successful heroes.
Bit of a throwback here from some of the Final Tribe players.
Yeah, not the full throwback of stacking up with the Wyvern and dual jungling like Complexity did that one time, but
we'll see whether or not they can continue this Wyvern Ember dual lane down bottom. For now, the pressure up top.
Oh, Frost's got to jump down, Boundless Strike, and they do have the concussive shot slowing down Yang. A couple more shots from Pablo. It's not going to be enough. Yang had the bottle charge to be able to keep himself alive, and Pablo, he's actually the one in trouble, but Pablo did have the magic stick charges. He'll stay alive a little bit longer, might be able to live, but no, Fade finished him off just in time, but they do trade out kills. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Air does manage to pick up that kill ahead of the Rocket Barrage. Freeze is going to try and chase him into the trees. Body blocked up by Hanskin, soaking up that damage as well. And if he's not careful, he may actually die here. Air is thinking about it. Hanskin is going to TP away. Snowball's not going to make it.
Lost vision of him for a second there. He saw him and they didn't snowball, and then he lost vision, had to regain it. So a bit awkward as bounty runes will come up, and looks like they will be mostly split between the 2 teams.
Pablo will pay for the bounty rune with his life, though. It's Fade.
Yes.
We'll just block him in with the ice shards. There's nowhere really for Pablo to run. We haven't talked about CS at all, but you know, Yonosavant's been trying to pressure mid pretty heavily, but he's actually still down in CS, 24-3 right now, 29-1 for Sylar. So maybe it was the Roshan death, but it does seem like the Lycan is doing perfectly fine.
I don't think Axe is like a hard counter to this Lycan mid. He's just too tanky. He's got built-in health regen. It's slightly annoying being battle hungered and the threat of the spins when you go in near. You can't use your wolves to last in as much. And we're going to see him like feed some wolves as Jonas does get called. Doesn't actually get the necessary spins to bring him down, but Lycan, once you get now a Ring of Health and Hedris, you're very sustainable in lane.
Here comes the Flappy Bird. Hanskin has a haste rune and wants to make a play. He's going to go for the big Splinter Blast, try and slow down DDC and freeze. Era is not going to try and take advantage of that. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going for the dive. Oh, that is Firefly that's down. Bat Rider went for this dive, and he may end up dying here. Frost needs to be able to land this Primal Spring. He actually tried to go for the Tusk instead. The Snowball was still out, though, and so many sticky Napalm stacks. They need to kill the Bat Rider fast. He's going to try and get a drive-by, gets the kill on the Monkey King, and gets out. Pablo will be able to finish off Fade. At least, no, he can't even do that much. Too slowed down by the sticky Napalm. His rotation just isn't good enough.
That's bad news for Final Tribe. These side lanes already not going too great, and things are about to get worse. Sylar hitting level 7 with Helm of the Dominator. This guy doesn't just sit in his lane and try and just keep farming and pressuring the tower. He loves to rotate to side lanes, join up with teammates, and look for that early shapeshift usage. So probably sometime in the next minute or two, we'll see him either heading bottom or top and trying to find some extra kills and focus on pushing those side lane towers rather than mid.
Yeah, I already like this little play that he makes with farming at the Ancients. And they're going to go for the mid lane here. The Axe in serious trouble. Again, Ice Shard block in. Now the Wyvern's going to be able to come in. Maybe he can actually save Yonosavant. He does have the Cold Embrace. That's going to buy him a little bit of time, give him some heal. Yonosavant's going to get even more spins. Sylar's going to drop. He needs one more spin to get the plate, but he can't get it. Sylar was healthy enough that he wouldn't have died to the Culling Blade. Yonosavant just did not get the spins needed.
Yeah, close to saving him there. That's why I kind of thought they'd maybe focus on those side lanes, because Axe is a bit of a tough nut to crack. They showed they can do it.
He did not have Sleight of Fist to be able to dodge the missile. Almost dies as a result, but it's DDC who almost goes down. But again, Pablo is just a little shy. Now Freeze going to go for the tower dive to finish off that kill, but Era actually stops him. What a great play by him. Managed to get the Searing Chains. It is Pablo who will barely get away with his life intact.
Oof. Bloodbath in the bottom lane. Bloodbath all over the place. These teams trading heavy hits here.
Mid lane, now here comes Yang. Snowball in the river as well. There is truly no out for Yonosavant here. Hanskin, he can't even go for a Cold Embrace underneath the magic damage from the Bat Rider. This is another reason why this Bat Rider was such a good counter pick. They needed some magic damage.
Got Bat and Gyro. This Wyvern is not really feeling too good about his ability to use Cold Embrace at all this game.
Slept up, DDC. Actually turning around, getting a couple of shots with a Snowball coming in with a Walrus Punch. A lot of physical damage, and it's enough to be able to cut the Ember Spirit down.
He's already level 6. We're 8.5 minutes in, and Fade's had such a good game. He's 3-1-5. He's been kind of roaming around as well, but he has not struggled to find experience. And
now Frost is dead. Oh, well, no, he does have TP, and Lasso is still on cooldown for Yang, so.
And now at least, as we'll see what the next move is going to be. Sylar's ulti coming back up in 20 seconds time. He's taking over the enemy jungle now, using his Helm and Wolves to farm up there. This top lane looks like the danger zone. I don't think Final Tribe can play around that tier 1 tower at all. With Lycan's rotation, he's just going to immediately reveal himself. When you see him up there, you've got to be looking at both mid and bottom lane and thinking, these are the lanes we want to play around. Problem is, your Axe is not really in a good place to be making moves. He's 2.3k net worth, heavily struggling, no Blink Dagger in sight, still trying to finish off the Vanguard. That is concerning.
We're going to try and make a Monkey King maneuver. Searing Chains will set up the pounce from the Monkey King. Now, they were gone off map, not farming for a very long time. So yes, they do kill a Gyrocopter for 200 gold, but the rotation itself feels like it's not going to be super worth. Maybe a little bit better if they can kill DDC here, and sure enough, the Primal Spring gets Frost close enough for that double kill. So that's now 400 gold that he's gotten out of that.
They're not even touching this bottom tier 1 tower though, and that seems like if you're going to be down here getting these kills, ignoring both mid and top lane, Sylar is not just stopping at tier 1, he's going for the tier 2, and I don't think you can stop this. You've got to be counter pressuring and getting a tower of your own. Unfortunately, Era Ember, this is not a hero that pushes particularly fast, and we're seeing Final Tribe just very limited in what they can do, as Sylar is 6k net worth already. He's taken now a 3rd tower for his team. Things going from bad to worse.
This is literally a man who could teach a class on how to play Lycan, and they're just giving him a free game.
Yes.
He's going to have Necronomicon super soon. And the only real hope for Final Tribe is they somehow boost this Axe into a faster Blink Dagger, but he just completed the Vanguard, so he still needs a full 2,200 gold.
Yeah, I think Optic kind of showed versing this team. You know, they lost game 1 to a Silo Lycan where they just got demolished, and game 2, game 3, first ban. That's how you verse vgj.thunder. You do not give Sylar Lycan.
Oh, 3-man smoke up. Primal Spring jumps away just ahead of Lasso. So that's going to be a smoke that fails for vgj.thunder.
Yeah, they had all their ultis. Even Bane's hit level 6, so they wanted to make these moves. They have 2 Observer Sentries on DDC, so he wants to get down some deep wards, which he didn't really get a chance to do because of that smoke popping. We'll still look to invade this shrine. You really want to try to get vision on this high ground here, because otherwise it's so hard to play around the Dire Shrine. It's such a safe place to farm with your carries with the high ground advantage, but if you have vision, that can quickly change. Oh, and by the way, Silo took another tap.
Yep. 5k gold lead now for vgj.thunder. Necronomicon 1 up for him. Top lane, they're going to go for Freeze. Freeze does have enough mana for a TP, so if Era uses the chains here, he's not going to be able to get the kill, just TP out, so that's why he's just holding on to it for now. Freeze will eventually get run down. Meanwhile, Hanskin did get picked off in the bottom lane as they continue to push for that tier 2. Yang hoping to be able to catch Frost as well.
Oh, Lycan diving bottom, brings down Pablo.
Easy. Take that tier 2 and some more kills.
Jaro could have, once that second Fire Ember was used, actually could have TP'd because Ember was out of mana. He was like, had 2 sick charges, would have been 3 or 4 mana short even if he popped them, but hard to kind of know in the moment there, and didn't want to waste his TP, so.
Yeah.
Bit of a rough game for this Gyrocopter. By bit of a rough game, very rough game. 3.5k net worth. Freeze is kind of playing the tough lanes right now because he doesn't want to just be grouping up in 5-man with his team. He doesn't add much. He does dish out damage in a team fight, but they're not going to team fight this Lycan. He is too far ahead that wherever Sylar goes, towers are just going to drop, so it just feels like unnecessary for Gyro to join them.
Bean script on skin. Managed to get off the Winter's Curse, but still dies to Fate's right clicks. Now, they are going to be able to get the Monkey King here to try and grab one of these kills. Fate making the getaway right now. Instead, they're going to get the Spring onto the Bane with the call as well, but Fate walked away. They could have gotten both of those supports if they coordinated that just a little bit better.
That's costly. They need everything they can get at this point after such a mediocre start. Just a 5-position Bane off of that big commitment, and things not looking too good. None of their heroes feel too equipped to deal with this Lycan. With that said, the more and more farmer Lycan get, Winter Wyvern does not need anything to counter the Lycan. You could have 1k net worth and Lycan can have 20, 30k net worth. Your Winter's Curse still offers a very important tool.
That's true. Lycan, though, at that point in time, he just plays it a little differently, right? Then he just separates his hero from all of his various summons. They're going to find another pick off. That's
He's so
awesome.
far ahead. Like a Necro 2 already, Necro 3 with Wolves, he could literally just send these summons at squishy supports like Wyvern, Skywrath, and they will die. They will die to a Necro 3 with Lycan's ulti movement speed.
Roshan. Not long for this world, it seems, as vgj.thunder are going to team up to bring him down, and Final Tribe. They probably, maybe they have an idea, but they aren't really pushing out the side lane super aggressively. You can see the Ember Spirit and Pablo were hiding in that side shop for a little while. Finally, Yang shows himself. They're actually going to try and turn things around. Pablo does have his ultimate. They will be able to blow up the Bat Rider. So a bit of hubris there. The Bat Rider thought that he could just go out like that mid lane. Yono-Samfan is going to be caught trying to complete his Blink Dagger. He's so close to it too. The Fiend's Grip, he's very dead. Sylar now on a dominating spree. Can use the rest of this transformation to take another tier 2. The last remaining tier 2 for Final Tribe at 15 minutes.
Ooh, 15 minutes, 6 towers down. That is insanely fast, although it doesn't look like they're going to fully commit to getting that last tier 2. I'll back it off, play it a little bit safe. recognizing that the Winter's Curse is something perhaps to be respected at this point, but as it stands, things are very grim for this Final Tribe team. They really need to start thinking about what plays they can make. Era's Boots of Travel given this global mobility, but it's not really something you can use when you're not controlling the map at all. When you've lost all these towers and don't have any map control, the Boots of Travel is very limited in what you can do with this item.
Lycan very rapidly approaching 2 times the net worth of some of the cores on Final Tribe. And if he gets the last hit on this tier 2, which of course he will, he's Sylar.
Of a very different story for Thunder. You know, game 1, there's this 16-0 Bloodseeker by Freeze. This game, 0-3, very quiet, being pressured, but it's one of the great things about this team is they have different players who can step up in different games, depending on the draft and the needs. We're seeing it here.
Final Tribe. They're just apparently going to keep on trying to go for Freeze, as I'm thinking their Monkey King and Ember Spirit might go for this kill on the Gyrocopter if he pushes out. Not going to be the case, though. Max up does the neutrals. Ember Spirit will head up to top lane instead to find some farm.
Everyone on the VGA side getting pretty wealthy here. Even Fade on the Tusk almost has a completed Blink Dagger. We'll see what the next move is going to be. They got this Aegis so early that it feels like VGA Thunder are like, wait, what do we do now? We took all these towers too easily. Roshan was too easy. Like, can we go high ground? I'm sure Freeze is over there like, no way, guys, I'm not going high ground.
Chained up right as the transformation takes effect. Sylar looking a little lost, not sure where he can go. Good thing he doesn't go anywhere because Jonas Safon was there ready to go with the Blink Dagger if he tried to dive a bit deeper.
He'll have to just back off and continue farming. I think it's legitimately an awkward spot for them, like because of how fast they took control of this game. And then your carry, your hero that needs to kind of be frontlining, ideally with the Aegis on the gyro, not that he was ready to take it because he was so undefined and underleveled, is just telling his team like, nah, we can't do anything. I need to keep farming. I need at least my first item. So they're going to just keep playing 4 heroes on the dire side of the map while gyro farms.
Still, Snowball still manages to catch Jonas Safon, and they do have the Fiend's Grip as well. Cold Embrace, that won't do anything. A bunch of magic damage. Will still get the kill. 14-9 now.
Yeah, I like this. This is the right plan. You just set up all these observer wards right outside Final Tribe's base. You're not really eyeing off a high ground push unless you find some big pickoffs, which the Wyvern and the Axe are probably the 2 main ones. They're the ones that shut down the push and can counterplay Sylar's Lycan. So outside of killing those heroes, very unlikely this Aegis will lead to a high ground push at the current state of this game. Seems like they're content just to keep farming with Gyrocopter struggling to keep up. Although he is now up there. He was number 7 on net worth, now he's number 4, and he's at least on par with pretty much everyone in the game except for Lycan, who is his teammate.
Final Tribe, similar situation to game 1. Time to just hit those side lanes and hope for the best.
Let's split push. You've got an Ember, sure.
Yeah, you went Boots of Travel and everything, so. Primal Spring jumping down onto the Gyrocopter again. They just keep on hating on Freeze. After all, he's the only core they really can kill. But at the same time, Fade and Sylar are going for the back lines. They've caught Jonas Safon, Cold Embrace by some time to Winter's Curse. Onto this Lycan. The Lycan to actually go down. They're going to lay down the Monkey King. Everything they can to be able to bring him down. Jonas Safon does end up dying, but what a worthy cause for it. They get down the Aegis, and now Lycan with no shapeshift on top of the Monkey King ultimate. Can they take him down a second time? Skylar, it's DDC actually almost went down there, but now to save the day, the Batrider comes in to be able to control up Frost, and they just will not have the damage. No matter how slow Sylar is, he's just big and tanky, and Final Tribe do not have the damage to kill him a second time.
Yeah, it's a decent team fight where they get the jump on the gyro, instantly remove him and all his damage output, but didn't have the longevity to continue fighting and to kill a Lycan twice.
Bade diving in deep on the other side of the shards, though. Bade backing out. Final Tribe again, just can't really go forward.
Yep. I mean, Winter's Curse to get rid of the Lycan once, but they need to find a way to kill him a second time. And that Aegis was about to expire anyway, so Sylar doesn't care at all that he used it in that way. And with all the map control, Thunder, I like this. They send Freeze bottom, so they make sure they get all 4 bounty runes. Often you're ahead like this, but you don't get all the bounty runes just because you're only playing one side of the map. Problem is, he may die for it.
Era, stop it. He just keeps on hunting. Breezy literally just TPs down here, knowing where the gyrocopter was, thanks to that ward that they have a little bit farther to the north. And he just makes a beeline for him every single time.
Yeah. Hopefully homing missile able to help keep him alive, but Breeze is still not a very happy camper. Does have the Mantis Style queued up. Not my favorite item on a gyro. Getting it just.
Yeah.
I mean, Searing Chains and Silence, sure, those are annoying, but.
A call onto Yang. They're going to try and blow him up with the Primal Spring. They're good set up, but the Gold Scepter actually dodges that. Now Frost is going to be able to get that easy kill that he was hoping for. The Cold Embrace comes out, trying to buy him some time, but it's just so much magic damage. Meanwhile, Siler's just getting to that back line. Ember Spirit, Monkey King, yeah, 4 of them are already dead. Jonas Samfon, he's not going to be able to TP out or anything either. That's going to be a 5-man wipe. Nobody from vgj.thunder dying. In fact, it wasn't even close.
No, not very close as Final Tribe kind of went all in there, but Second Thunder able to rotate. They're fighting around a shrine of all things, so easy TP rotations if needed. And vgj.thunder bring in the cavalry for that one as Lycan, recognizing the Winter Wyvern curse, Siler's got a Lincoln Sphere now saying, you are not going to keep on Winter's cursing me, so he can just run in freely now against the Winter Wyvern.
I love that.
Splinter Blast break Lincolns?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And it's still like even splatters and everything, right? Maybe? Well, not that it really matters, but I'm not sure if it does. It's one of those item pickups like, yeah, it could stop a Winter's Curse, but if you, Splinter Blast is going to be breaking it, then it's whatever though. He's far enough ahead. It's just going to make life a little bit more annoying for Final Tribe.
I would say like the instant spell that's probably to watch out for is like Samfon could just throw a Battle Hunger if he's in that situation with Hanskin. But they do still have the Axe, no matter what the Lincolns does against this Winter's Curse, if it blocks it, or whether or not they're going to be able to get some sort of combination, break the Lincolns and get a Winter's Curse in. Either way, there's still the Axe counter as well. But in order to be a real Axe counter to a Lycan, you need a Blade Mail. And he has been sitting on like 100 gold for like the last 5 minutes because he just keeps dying.
Even with the Blade Mail, I feel like he's very squishy.
Yeah.
This Lycan, you Blade Mail kill a Necrobook, well, you just took a whole lot of last will damage.
All right, here comes Siler. He's going to lead with the Help Air Smasher to be able to scout things out. He's chasing away Frost immediately. He's not letting him get the opportunity to get the Primal Spring out, so Frost just has to turn, get off the Wukong's command, save it for the Cold Embrace. They sit inside of this AoE. The Bat Riders get caught in it. Jonas Samfon's going to die to the magic damage coming in for the Gyrocopter, and now the Fiend's grip on Frost to make sure he can't get off that big stun. 4 dead from Final Tribe once again, faster than you can even cast it. And Ember Spirit will try and limp himself away, but his Remnant's just not in a good position for him to be able to get out. Everywhere he goes, there's just VGJ heroes everywhere.
He tried. To no avail, as we could be in for a quick GG here, as Thunder have well and truly snowballed out of control. Showcasing why nobody should let them pick Lycan at this tournament, and Fade also showing a great Tusk. He's definitely been the other stand-up player this game. He's been all over the map, making all kinds of plays. One of his signature heroes, a hero that's fallen off a lot, and the fact that despite all the nerfs, Fade has still managed to have this kind of an impact is true testament to his skills on Tusk.
Buyback force, 21,000 gold lead, and we're getting to that awkward net worth chart point where we're looking at multiple cores and even supports that are looking over all of the Final Tribe heroes. Tusk is almost there, and if he could actually get a kill on the Monkey King, instead he's going to die. A little bit too big for his britches. Instead, Fade is going to be able to get Jonas Samfon, take him out of the fight, so Siler can actually go into the back lines. Every single time as the Bat Rider deals with the Axe, Siler will clean up the rest of the team. The Gyrocopter is going to let loose all that magic damage to be able to bring down the Axe. Era's going to be stuck in this, has to be able to remnant it away. Siler just man fights the Monkey King because he can, because that Life Stealer doesn't even come close to letting him battle against Siler, who has like 3 times his farm at this point.
Yeah. Double
It's
support
actually just
buybacks. Wyvern did blow the ultimate on the Lincoln Sphere, so even with the buyback, there's not really much will to fight from the Final Tribe side. And hey, Siler's same thing. He's like, yeah, we'll give you some breathing room. 30 seconds, no ultimate. Also, you know, may as well get an Aegis of cheese. Let's go down the checklist of things we're meant to do to close out a game when we're ahead by 25k gold. And getting Aegis is on that list. Also getting bounty runes. 4 more bounty runes go the way of vgj Thunder.
Can't let Admiral Bulldog be disappointed in you.
No, absolutely not.
Yule Scepter soon for Fade. It's rare that you get to see this many items on a Tusk this early on. But again, he's ahead of the Monkey King, now in net worth. So, good times. Frost is going to try and get a Shadow Blade. I'm not sure. Maybe the Axe will kill the Necronomicon warrior for him.
I don't think there's an item.
That's true.
You're down 25k gold at 25 minutes. Is there an item that we would not speculate about being bad, I guess? I don't know. It's something. But yeah, it's tough. There's going to be Aegis Cheese now. This time around, Freeze will be the one grabbing it. He's also going Lincoln's. He's like, let's make sure this Winter's Curse doesn't catch us as easily. I think they look at this and how do you lose the game and throw this lead? And it really is only a Winter's Curse. Winter's Curse kills either Lycan or Gyro, and that could, very small chance, win Final Tribe of 5.
They have caught the Axe and are currently just toying with him.
Yep.
Thinking about, I guess we can finally finish him off. Look at Yang. He's actually just going to farm some neutrals while they leave him here. Give him a buck. And eventually let him die.
It's a pretty demoralizing death.
I feel like that's sort of analogy for the rest of this game.
Yeah.
You know, they're just kind of toying with Final Tribe, and finally they're going to put them out of their misery, hopefully.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're Final Tribe, this is like some qualifier you're playing online at home. You GG'd out 3 minutes ago, but this is the last DPC LAN of the year. $1.5 million up for grabs here. Biggest event you've played. You've played at 2 minors, done pretty well. Definitely had some good showings here, but looking a bit outclassed. They're not going to GG out since it is their last hurrah, but it is well and truly looking like curtain call for Final Tribe here.
All right, Assault Cuirass. You've got Cheese for your Lycan. I don't think you're really waiting on any other items.
I don't think so. They're perhaps waiting for a pickoff. They've got these wards set up, maybe thinking someone's going to walk out of the base. It is a little bit tricky just to go high ground because of the Winter's Curse. You can't just, brute force your way through a lane. Maybe you can when you're this far ahead, but it gives an opening for Final Tribe to make some plays.
So first, we're going to see if Yang, with this Firefly, can pull somebody out of the base to make this high ground push just a bit easier. Setting up for it right now. Yep. But Final Tribe see this. They're going to play on the right-hand side.
No great save for the Bat Rider lasso. He's going to go jumping in. Feeling confident. He's being given the Lincolns here even.
Lycan starts pushing onto the tier 3. Sylar feeling the pressure. Pops that shapeshift and just focusing on the buildings. Yang tried to go for the backline, tried to grab that Ember Spear. Couldn't quite get it. Now the flat cannon shots force the rest of Final Tribe. Look at them. They're all so low. They might as well play for the fountain now and try again for a second lane of Rags to defend.
The AC, those buildings just melted. VGJ didn't even have to commit to a fight. They just zoned them away with the Bat Rider and then the flak, and hey, it's a free Rags. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
All right, guys. So round 2. vgj Thunder are presumably going to do the same kind of thing.
Yes.
How do you switch it up for Final Tribe? How do you actually get in the fight this time around?
Let's see, your Axe, he needs to just go in, blink call anything. Probably dies, misses the call, dies, but he baits vgj Thunder in, sets up the perfect Winter's Curse, and that hero doesn't die actually. So no, I don't know, Cap.
Misses the call.
Yeah.
I like how you lead out this entire plan, but it's a realistic plan, and that Final Tribe is still going to mess something up.
Yeah, it's they're going to keep spamming this Sleight of Fist, Maelstrom, hoping for the best, and it doesn't really lead anywhere. You need to get some kind of smoke play. They've got a smoke on Pablo, come in from behind, try and go in the back line. Supports, you can actually kill them. They have less than 2k HP. That's a good sign.
There's the Wyvern. So bye-bye Winter's Curse.
No buyback too, yeah.
No buyback.
He bought back last fight, so that's also 50+ seconds dead.
All right, well, Gyro Cubsters could go in, take out Pablo. Fiendscrape already gone to Frost, and Final Tribe are so separated from each other, they can't actually stop the Bane way out there.
Yep.
Like Fiendscripting,
Rex,
channeling, and Yonosapani, he's done. He's TPing the Shrine. He's getting out of his own base to pick up bounty runes.
It's over. Call it. There we go. No offense, Final Tribe. This was just complete outplay. They got overran. A team who's looked pretty promising in the European region, but this is not really them showing their true colors.
Being promising in the European region is not much of a compliment right now, gods.
Look, you know, Europe's got some great teams. Team Secret, Liquid, they're in the winner bracket here.
True.
European qualifiers, yeah, I don't know who they've got. It
There-
ends there.
There's Team Kingwin,
Yep.
who Final Tribe have been stomping nonstop, and then
That's
they
good.
in turn go to these lands and get stomped themselves. It's a never-ending cycle, it seems.
A vicious cycle as, Final Tribe. Goodbye to those guys. Fun group of guys. Glad
Yes.
they got the chance to play here. They are improving. They are getting better. Event to event. And vgj.thunder, this is the kind of win that is going to boost you up moving forward, because there is a little bit of a doubt in their mind that they may not be at TI should Optic outperform them at this event.
That's true. So they got to make a nice, strong lower back run. But that's it for the day. A nice, easy 2-0 to make it short. Back to the panel. Day's over.
Well, not quite. I mean, we've still got, to talk about that particular game. It's going to be a tough breakdown for our panel members as well. They're going to be really tested by this one. Gents, 38k goal win in 30 minutes. What do you say after that?
Siler Lycan, 20k net worth at 28 minutes. That is the fastest all-time, going back 1,074 Lycan games to TI5. He is now 69 and 38 on Lycan for his career, 20 more wins than any other player.
Insane.
What is there to say? As a Swede, I'm very disappointed in them, and if I were their coach, I'd use some alternative methods here. A good beating is what they need, honestly. That's all I got, honestly.
Well said. All right. I mean, I think we all kind of saw what was coming, let's be honest. I think the Batrider was an excellent pick at the end of the draft. It hasn't been looking too hot this tournament, but this was one of the best bat performances I've seen in a while. Completely took over the game. And it's, there's a reason why this, I haven't seen a Lycan so far. Not only was he able to just fight so easily because the Batrider is absorbing a lot of the pressure, and just, he makes everyone run away because they had just no answer to the Batrider. And so, Lycan, he chases people. So he's just munching them all up, made the game very easy. And a lot of the Batriders have had trouble because it feels like they are in games where they have to like smoke, blink, lasso, and we need nuke damage. This is a game where he did not need smokes and blinks really to get going. He just walked on some heroes, and they were all very vulnerable.
Yeah, that's it for today, guys.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. That's all we got.
Yeah, I mean, as God said at the end of the commentary, really nice bunch of guys. They really are a genuinely nice bunch of guys. And disappointing from their point of view, Alan, obviously, to crash out of the tournament in any respect, but let alone when you get absolutely slaughtered in a game at the end of the tournament like that, because that's not going to set them up very well heading into their qualifiers.
Yeah, I think they do have one of the softer regions in terms of regional quals. They have shown some good form at some of these events, and at this level of Dota, good teams know how to turn small advantages into really big advantages in short periods of time, and I think that's what happened in these games. I think TFT is, at the end of the day, I don't think they're that far, but they do have some adjustments to make.
Henrik, would you agree?
Sure. They looked pretty good coming into this tournament, I think. I thought they would do a lot better, honestly. And seeing how they play here, it was just such a disappointment, honestly. They can do so much better.
Yeah, and they have got some good players on this team.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the second draft was also a lot better, honestly. They did get 10th pick back, and now that hero he's going to kind of start to move towards more of that 10th pick flavor, like the your broods and whatnot, where you can really find a nice game for it. But other than that, like, one thing that a lot of teams have fell victim to was just not properly addressing the Siler Lycan, and it felt like they had some good answers in terms of hero picks. Maybe the play wasn't able to mirror that, but at least it was showing that they were giving respect to the hero They just weren't quite able to execute in terms of like those early game calls to try and shut them down.
Yeah, I mean, the Axe really needed to be the catalyst in shutting down the Lycan, and our casters referred to that a couple times near the end of the game about how the Axe, his blade mail was late. He didn't have a great landing phase. The rotations were just better from vgj Thunder, allowing that Lycan to get so far ahead of the Axe, and once that Lycan is farmed, he's got his stats up, and the blade mail is delayed, all of a sudden the Axe isn't a counter, and you just have no hard disable from the two supports apart from the curse.
Would need a lot of like ancient stacks and that probably using the Wyvern kind of cheese to get a lot of farm going. If you're going to go Vanguard, and then you need your Blade Mail, and you need your Blink Dagger, that's a lot of gold, turns out.
It is. Talking a lot of gold, there's a lot of gold on one side of this particular scoreboard. It's all on the upper part of it. A 38k gold advantage for vgj Thunder leads them to a victory by 2-0 in this final lower bracket round 1 match. The final tribe are done as far as the tournament is concerned, and they're also done as far as the Dota professional circuit is concerned as well. Their season ends with just 3 visits to events, but they have all come in the latter part of the season. 2 at GESC and 1 here, obviously. At least that bodes well, because it suggests they're getting through qualifiers better and more often than the last 6 or 7 tournaments.
Sure, and again, there's just a lot of uncertainty surrounding that EU region. Nobody's really sure how good the new OG is going to be, so I think there's some opportunity there still.
Yeah, good bunch of guys need to stick together. MVP for this one? Who are you going to pick, Trent?
Yang, I think it's
Yeah.
fair to say. Honestly, I mean,
Get
we
out
could give it
of
to Siler again. Oh, come on. It's Siler and a Lycan. I've seen this story before. You know, I felt good about the Batrider. He's a,
Hey, just because you've seen a story or read a story before doesn't mean it can't be good the second time around. Sometimes it's even more enjoyable.
I don't think you get that game without the Batrider.
A guy sets an all-time farming record on Lycan and can't even get MVP.
Can't get the MVP.
In seriousness, Trent has a very good point here. Yang was excellent on the Batrider.
He was the enabler, wasn't he?
Particularly important. Again, when we talk about these series, it's what the teams have to build on going forward, and particularly important for Yang to have a good series here after he really struggled on that Broodmother the other day as they fell down. I think it's a very nice performance from him, something they'll build on going to the next series.
Would you like to find